Felix Ayange, Patrice Agunda, and Oscar Umar were actually participants in that 2009 Junior World Rugby Tournament trophy in Nairobi. And like you clearly said, have gone on through to represent the country at the highest level, and very proudly for that matter.
Exactly, and in our picture we see both captains, Darwin Mukiza of KCB and Brian Okwomi of Strathmore, tossing with referee Constant Cap taking the decision. Brian Okwomi, former Strathmore player, he won the series in 2009 with Strathmore Leos. Darwin Mukiza was part of the KCB squad that won the series last year. And interestingly enough, KCB come into this match without the likes of Fabian Orlando, Philip Omae, who else? Andrew Amonde, all of whom have been rested. But in the same breath, Quins are without the likes of Felix Ayange, Patrice Agunda, who we just mentioned there, Sydney Ashoya. There's a lot of pedigree from both sides missing, but these two sides have still put their best foot forward and stepped to the final of the Kabeberi Sevens.
Of course, Brian Okwomi, a very underestimated player, stands at about 5'8". Would least expect him to go around and create any level of havoc.
KCB, Quins.
Has actually shown time and time again his level of pedigree, his ability, his level of work ethic, his work rate 15, is totally unquestionable.
Well, we're going to have the pre-match formalities before this one. Remember, this tournament is in memory of the late George Mwangi Kabeberi, former Mwamba RFC player who passed away in 1986. But over the years, Mwamba RFC have also used this tournament to honor some of their departed heroes, including the late, great Absalom Bimbo Mutere, the late Jimmy Green Owino, Leroy Okara, and Aberdeen Shikoi, former Kenya Lionesses captain.
Of course, Mwamba definitely has a lot of rugby history. They were the first wholly indigenous rugby team in Kenya, established in 1978, a year after Mean Machine was established. So, a lot of rugby history in Kenya cannot be stated without mentioning Mwamba. Surely there's absolutely no rugby story you're telling without mentioning Mwamba in Kenya rugby history.
I concur with you, Hillary. And any moment from now, we'll have the dignitaries shaking hands with the teams, and after that, there'll be that mandatory minute of silence in honor of all those departed heroes. In our picture there, Edwin Salamba, former captain of the KCB side. We also see the match officials, Brian Wandera from Quins. We can see Brian Okwomi just walking to the end of the line.
Okwomi there with the Kenya Rugby Union chairman, Mwangi Muthee, and the chairman of Mwamba. Could I pay that is Alva Zanguri? And Rito Kuthe, the director of marketing at Safaricom, the circuit sponsors. Right at the back of line is the Kenya Rugby Union Honorary Secretary, Eddie Omondi.
As the pleasantries are exchanged before the adversities begin.
In the resplendent God Papa hat there is the Kenya Rugby Union chairman, Mwangi Muthee. In front of him is the director of marketing at Safaricom, the circuit sponsors, Rito Kuthe, and behind him the Kenya Rugby Union secretary, Eddie Omondi. Because all these players are just, from their facial expression, you can see the level of concentration, the desire to win. Oliver Mangeni, the tall figure in there. Maurice Mbai, on this picture, former player from Mwamba. His elder brother was coaching the Mwamba outfit. That's Eddie Omondi, just exchanged. In the back there is Michael Otieno, the rugby services manager at the Kenya Rugby Union. And they will be set to start any minute from now. Kenya Harlequins doing their club anthem in there. A very emotional moment for their faithful. Not everyone agrees, so there's some who are singing some bit of booze in the crowd. You'll always expect that in a democratic environment. And this is a democratic environment like any, Mike.
I agree with you, Hilary. I was just looking for a comeback, but for a moment it got lost somewhere in my mind. But anyway, Quins are done with their anthem. KCB are huddling together. Center referee is Constant Cap, level 3 referee, one of the most experienced referees in the country today. The Quins players also huddled together there for their pre-match. KCB and Quins are both done, and Quins in the quartered shirts and black shorts, KCB in the, I can't remember what Dan Otieno described that green yesterday.
The comment may have been neon, like the disco lights.
Yeah,
Okay, behind the kicker.
The green that KCB are in is the neon green and blue shorts.
I would absolutely have no idea. My bedtime is 8 p.m. every night.
And I think Dan Otieno in another life is a designer, an interior designer. But anyway, back to the matters on the pitch. Oliver Mangeni fielding that ball.
Back foot.
As he's played out under pressure. Ken Musetti, not the easiest of takes, but he manages to keep it and just take it in.
Does very well to pick up a very scrappy ball, Ken Musetti. Definitely has grown in leaps and bounds to become a very, very mature player. Definitely a stalwart within the KCB rugby team outfit. Dawemi Kudza just trying to break off. Shakes off Shianseno. Shianseno comes back in, smashes Mukidza down onto the deck. Not through the gate, and KCB get a penalty. Edwin Salamba looking at trying to capitalize early. Doesn't look like he was allowed to move for 10 meters, and yes, there'll be a repeat penalty. So this time, Kenya Harlequins have to move 10 meters back. From time to time, you get to see referees just giving guys cards for tackling someone before they go 10 meters. There's been a level of tolerance this particular event, and you know, some teams would perhaps feel a bit hard put for losing out on that advantage.
Well, probably you also look at it, this being the shorter version of the game, the 7th version. It's all about end-to-end action, and you know, when you get down to issuing those cards, it becomes start-stop and not something that the fan would enjoy, not something that even the players would enjoy.
Wait, let him get into position.
So match referee sets the time back on. So KCB is set to take the penalty.
Okay.
They like to run the ball as opposed to kicking out for a line out.
That's Peter Waitere just taking the space, and Oliver Mangeni distributing now. This is Ken Musetti, Edwin Salamba, Ian Indimuli spotting the gap and just again returning it back to Edwin Salamba.
Back foot. Vantage over.
Oliver Mangeni.
Very quick ball recycle from the rack in there. Waitere has Mukidza out. Mukidza looks like for the switch. Breaks on through one tackle. Gets on there. Oliver Mangeni steps outside. Does enough to go on through, and KCB will coast him for the first try. Great work there by Waitere, Mukidza and Mangeni.
Yeah, you talked about the quick recycling of the ball, and you could see that. Look at what Darwin Mukidza is doing there. He has been caught in a spot of bother, but he knows that Oliver Mangeni is rushing in and just plays it to him. The lanky Mangeni having the easiest job in the world.
You can never underestimate the importance of quick ball recycling, because in as much as a team might probably have a very, very vicious line speed on the defense angle, a quick ball being recycled from the base of a rack will always be very devastating, and KCB just showed how devastating that could be. Ken Musetti, good with extra 2 points, so KCB 7 points. Kenya Harlequins still yet to record any in this particular game.
Still have all of 7 minutes in the first half. KCB leading Kenya Harlequin 7-0. This is the final of the Kabeberi Sevens, the opening round of the National Sevens Series, sponsored by Safaricom. Anyway, the restart there.
Okay, play on.
Absolutely spot on. You'd have probably thought that the ball didn't go 10 meters, but great kick there by Ken Musetti. Unfortunately, not well matched by the reception, so Kenya Harlequins retain it. Kevin Keegan gets the ball this time around, spreading the ball left, right, and center.
Okay, brought in by Colored.
Jacob Oje just showing his physical presence in there, trying to hold up Kenya Harlequins player. Kenya Harlequins do not look like going to contest this ball, so it may appear that this will be a turnover ball.
Okay, that's okay. Second touch by Colored. Line out.
Referee calls for the line out. I think KCB were expecting a scrum put in there.
Line out green, eh? Okay, line out here.
Well, it's actually KCB throwing from the line out.
You didn't take it out.
They took the Quins player into touch.
Let them get right.
Great awareness there by Kenya Harlequins. Okay. You cannot have a ball unless there are more than 2 people in there. So once the Kenya Harlequins player was held up, they let KCB just drag the fellow off. so they could have the line out, looking like they prefer defending off the line out as opposed to a scrum. Interesting call there.
And this is Jacob Oje dashing off, playing in Peter. No, this is Darwin Mukidza shrugging off his defenders. The ball.
Advantage.
Referee Constant Cup is playing advantage from that knock-on. And this is now William Mawiro for Quins. Into the hands of Kevin Keegan. I heard Constant Cup say that advantage was over. Tackle there by Jacob. That was Ian Indimuli on Kevin Keegan. Kevin Keegan had spotted a gap back.
I think he should have done better. Bill Mawira did very well to get that ball, but Keegan just kicks it off, an aimless kick. KCB retained the ball. They still seem to have it. Brian Okomi has been known to fetch the ball in seamless situations. Does get it. Kevin Keegan has it. This is a danger man. Sheehan Hendron has the ball. He's got numbers off his right shoulder. Does not want to do anything fancy. Brian Wandera cannot get to it.
And the referee calls the pass is adjudged to have been forward.
I would have fancied Sheehan Hendron just going in through with the ball. He's actually shown his ability, the mental toughness and the physical ability to just drive on through defenders. I'd have expected him to take on the KCB defense in that instance.
But he had the ball. Let's move away from this muddy place. Black bean back on. Okay, get bound. Crouch. Set. Nice. Don't drive till the ball is in. It has to go through the back. Let's have it hooked through the back. Okay, it can't come out from the front rows. Let's have it again.
And play resumes here at the Railway Club. KCB defending deep in the territory. That's Edwin Salamba being dealt with there by William Mawira. But still KCB, that's Jacob Oje just distributing the ball. This is Ken Mosetti. He's in a tight spot, but he budges his way out of it and releases Darwin Mukidza. Darwin Mukidza looking as although he's all alone. This is now Edwin Salamba. He doesn't have the support that he would have required, but the penalty is still...
To release the tackler, you have to release the player.
Very well covered there by Kenya Harlequins. Unfortunate enough not to get the call coming on their end.
10.
Penalty advantage still for
10,
KCB.
10. Where the ball is.
And once again, Hillary,
Yeah, I'm 10.
what we talked about, it seems as though KCB seem comfortable defending off the line out. Darwin Mukidza looking for touch there, but
Play on.
that ball stays in the field of play.
Yeah, it's very interesting because the lineup is one of the most unpredictable facing play. I would have expected fellows to have a lot more comfort on the scrum down break because there's a lot of staticity. 3 players already been engaged in some immobile level of play because in a lineup there's absolutely nothing holding off any player from rushing up. But anyway, the game has to go on through. Perhaps they've actually trained for it, so
Release. It's on your feet.
This is Ian Indimuli just running past Zeldon, caught up there, but delivers the ball to Mukidza. Mukidza is a deceptive runner and just trying to turn his opponent inside out. He has Jacob Oje there. Jacob Oje, but there's no one out wide. And it seems as though this ball will go out into touch.
I'm certain the idea was noble, but there's absolutely no one to make it look good. Terrible pass there in the end.
Exactly.
Huh? Oh. Mark here.
So if you're joining us, we have done 8 minutes of the final. This is the first half of the Kabeberi Sevens final, pitting KCB against Kenya Harlequins. KCB leading Kenya Harlequins by 7 points to 0. The try scored by Oliver Mangeni, the conversion from Ken Mosetti. This is Edwin Salamba looking for his support runner. This is Darwin Mukidza, but Kevin Keegan with a covering tackle. And can Quins clean this ball?
Release, you're down, you're off your feet. Release.
Looking to slide down.
There, Constant Cup just telling the Kenya Harlequins to release. That held the ball in there.
From the back.
Ian Inimuli perhaps caught in 2 minds. Didn't do a lot to that ball. Just gets tackled a meter off. Now they've got a bit more out in here. Ken Mosetti decides to take the gap.
And he does. That was a great offload to Oliver Mangeni.
Back foot. 13 back foot.
And there's a penalty advantage there for KCB. Kenya Harlequins players are judged to have been offside in that particular facet of play. So Ken Maseti with the ball. You can see the toll that this final is taking on them. Everyone is heaving, the chests are just pumping up and down. Indimuli with the ball. Mukidza just presses it. Mukidza with a heavy hit there.
But that was a hospital pass from Indimuli.
Did absolutely nothing trying to commit the players. OJ trying to just physically take on Godfrey. Godfrey Otieno now with the heavy band on the head. We did see him getting stretched. Is that Max Theory or is that Godwin?
The body structure looks like Max Theory. Godfrey is not even on the field of play. That is Max Theory.
Number 10, colored.
So apologies for that. Max Theory is the one with the heavily bandaged head. Heavily bandaged or not, Ken Mosetti doesn't seem to care about that. Moves on through bandages and all, scores a second try for KCB. So the bankers just pull off, looking like they're pulling off from this one. 12 points already. Kenya Harlequins still yet to place any level of response. Time to call my KCB bank manager and apply for a loan. I'm certain he's in good spirits today.
Green.
ATP Uncovered. Get unrivaled behind-the-scenes access to the most exciting tennis players on Earth in full HD. Find out what happens off the court with player profiles and tournament stories. Follow the ATP Tour and Grand Slam finals with in-depth features and tactical analysis. Become a tennis insider with ATP Uncovered. New episodes each Wednesday on Zuku Sports.
Yeah. And you could just hear Curtis Olago on the KCV technical bench giving his side an earful. You'd expect that with them in the lead, he'd go soft on them, but he's telling his guys to give 100%, telling them that they're just operating at 20%.
Absolute brutal honesty there by Curtis. Curtis is definitely a perfectionist. Did play with him, and he's one player who'd probably score 3 tries in a game and still be very devastated at the fact that he didn't score an extra one. So, of course, just trying to perfuse the same level of philosophy with the team he's currently coaching.
Okay, it's
Former Rugby school player there, just showing the level of perfectionism required in the quest to win trophies.
Oliver Mangeni wins that aerial battle and sets up a platform for KCB attack.
Good be faster.
Salamba with a quickly taken penalty, playing it into Mosetti. Once again, Waitere unable to field that, but KCB retained possession. This is Ian Indimuli, just looking to take it in. Plays it into Mosetti. Mosetti looking for the gap. Does he find it? I think he did. And that was an unconventional offload, but he still got it to Peter Waitere. Hillary, you take on that.
That just shows the level of awareness and level of sacrifice. He put his body on the line literally, also to get injured, but ensuring that he drew in the defender. And we don't see a lot of that in tournaments such as this.
Exactly.
Everyone probably want to spare themselves for the next tournament, but of course Mosetti having absolutely nothing to go around and spare there, put his body in that. Great fend off and tackle coming in there by Jacob Oje. He's becoming a very physical player.
I think, you know, the more he plays at this higher level, the more he refines himself. I know that he had been called into the Kenya Sevens training squad during the 2013-2014 season. Never actually made the final 12 at any one point of the season. Who knows what the 2014-2015 season will have for him.
The one thing that's a bit scary, just thinking about the prospect, is that KCB do not even have Alan Numuka playing, and that's exactly one other extremely physical player, and coasting right through into the final. And you also don't have Andrew Amonde, you don't have Philip Wamai and Fabian Orlando. I mean, those are players who can actually turn the game on its head.
Gentlemen, let's have no
driving. Maybe just a pointer to the depth that is in this club, but not only with KCB.
Until the ball is in. Props, let's bind on the hooker. Crouch!
There's a young crop of players coming through, and that they can get to the main cup final at this championship. I mean, it speaks volumes for both sides.
Can release forward!
Very clumsy there. Off the scrum down. Ken Mosetti managed to place the ball.
You didn't
Not
tackle
well done
but you held on to the
according
ball.
to the law book. So there will be a penalty advantage there for Kenya Harlequins.
Mark is here. Please,
Max
four.
Theory there in your picture.
Behind you.
Looks like he wants to go down for a line-out advantage. Just looking at playing territory because it's been very hard to penetrate through the KCB defense. No, he doesn't. He decides to scratch and gives to Brian Okomi. Okomi almost looked like he was passing. Then just caught a hammer up.
Okay,
Which results in another 10-15 yards advantage. Theory quickly recycles the ball. She and Hendron spreads the ball out wide.
That's Mawira, but taken out there by Peter Waitere.
Kenya Harlequins just perhaps guilty of running across the field of play.
Allow the ball to play.
Not trying to place any committing before passing the ball.
Putting the ball on the ground.
Of course, clearly just getting turned over there in the ruck by KCB.
Mark is here.
So flaps what perhaps would have been a promising attack for Kenya Harlequins. Still stands at 12 points to 0 for Kenya Harlequins. KCB doing all that they need to do just to keep their footing and to great ability.
Line out, green ball.
The line out.
Well, Hillary, I was just looking through the KCB players on the pitch. Remember, Darwin Mukidza got a knock just before the end of the first half. He has been replaced by Peter Kilonzo.
Yeah, Mukidza looked like he was in a spot of trouble right from the get-go. He had his right knee bandaged in some very fancy
10 colored.
So, I mean, he perhaps was just trying to take a gamble, and I think the coach
with your players,
just realizes that it's a marathon race and you require all your best runners, and good call there from the coach.
Quins have also made a substitution.
Okay.
Out goes Arthur Cheng.
Play on.
Paul Abuto.
Okay, play on. It's not a ball. They haven't balled in. You can play on.
Kneels down to hold him up. They're actually looking at getting this ball held up.
Once you bring him down, it becomes a tackle.
Not getting any player in because they realize that he's only a ball and you have more than a player in.
Still on his feet.
So KCB just expending energy.
Still on his feet. Okay, tackle, release him. You have to release him once he gets down. You have to release him.
5 minutes to play in this match.
Hey. Once he gets
KCB
down off
leading
his feet,
Kenya
you have to
Harlequin
release him. It becomes a tackle.
12-0. Remember, this is the final of the
10 with the AR, please.
Tactical approach there by Kenya Harlequins. You'd have expected them to try and just wrestle the ball. Well aware of the rules, not committing anyone in there. And at the point that Nyamboko was about to set the ball, KCB adjudged not to release him because his feet were flailing on the ground. So some great level of awareness there by Kenya Harlequins. They look to have read the rules quite well.
And for that, you'd have to give props to their coach, Sydney Obonyo, former Kenya Sevens international. This is Ken Mosetti. He's all alone, probably waiting for his men to fall back, but probably not a wise thing to do. But he plays it into Jacob Oje. KCB managing to clean it up. Indimuli playing it to Peter Kilonzo. Kilonzo spots a gap, and is he gone? He gained some territory. He has not turned on the gas yet. He's held off two defenders. He avails the ball. It's still KCB. This is Mosetti looking to distribute it, but there's a scrap heap there, Hillary.
There's definitely a much slower distribution of the ball from the base of the ruck. Not as fast as KCB were doing it in the first half. Perhaps just a level of fatigue beginning to show within the players, and definitely slowing down the entire game.
Line out. Colored ball. Okay, 10 green.
Eza Otieno comes into the field of play. So KCB just trying to beef in. Edwin Salamba comes off. Eza Otieno. Ian Indimuli gets the ball straight from the line out. Does well to keep it.
Stay on your feet.
Kilonzo at the back of the ruck. Kenya Harlequins not committing any players into the breakdown.
That's Jacob Oje. Attempted to go out wide, but he was well covered by Quins. It's still KCB, but the referee, Constant Cap, is playing advantage, and he's going to award the penalty to KCB.
Oje, they're perhaps just guilty of flailing his arm out too early, showing his intention to fend off the player through a handoff, and that's exactly what was used to bring him down. But looks like the tackle was not clean, and hence why KCB get the penalty. Oliver Mangeni gets on through, gets tackled by Shane Endron. It still looks good for KCB there. Warutere gets the ball clean. Now Eza Otieno quickly gets the ball. Kilonzo has Mangeni. Any Nimbuli official, Mangeni takes the route one approach. Typical of any forward. Mangeni scraps through one, skips through two, scores a try. Oliver Mangeni utilizes his guile and pure brutal strength to score KCB star try. How about that?
That's superb. There we just see him. The awareness to just... He knew where he was, having done all the hard work and just placing the ball, and that is a crucial try. And it's in a good position. Esa Otieno, if he converts this, 19-0, KCB will be in the lead. they'll make it even harder for Quins. The conversion goes in, and yes, it's now 19-0. Oliver Mangeni with that try. We have about 2 minutes, 50 seconds to play in this match.
It may be a bit of a tall order to just ask Kenya Harlequins to respond with 3 quick tries and perhaps set this game up for a great finish. On the picture, they can see the KCB partisan crowd very happy, excited, dancing. You'd only expect the KCB fans to be dancing, and definitely not Kenya Harlequins.
Well, the young woman you saw in our picture is definitely a KCB fan.
I would not expect a Kenya Harlequins fan to be playing unless they didn't know how to read the scoreline.
Maybe in the spirit of being a good sport, they would still be up.
So Eza Otieno kicks us off. It looks like they're just running down the clock.
It's okay, play on.
The offload to Max Deuri, not the best. And
touch.
Quins ceding possession. They had possession for all of about 3 seconds from that restart. And on the field of play there is Maurice Mbai. Remember, he won the Sevens Series with Strathmore Leos in 2009. First of all, moved to Mwamba, where his elder brother John Onyango Mbai also played, before making the switch to KCB for this season.
Very gritty player there, Maurice Mbai. Just like his brother John Onyango Mbai, a center. Has had a little bit more of a travel as compared to his brother who's only played for Mwamba, but that notwithstanding does not probably dilute his ability as a player.
And this is Michael Omondi, knocked down there by Zendon, but still KCB retaining the ascendancy and possession. And you just feel that at the moment, with all the decisions going against Quins, they simply have a mountain to climb. 1 minute to score 3 tries, 3 converted tries to lift the title.
I think I'm not really being a prophet of doom when I said categorically that the winner of the 2014 Kabeberi Rugby tournament is KCB. Do you want to take a bet on that?
Nah, no bets. No
I was really hoping you were.
No. We'll just confirm this in the next 49 seconds. It's Michael Omondi just being dealt with there by the team physio, Dr. Joseph Colley. Well, you also have to give credit to Quins. They have come here with a young side that has actually conquered all opposition, getting to the final without a number of key players. I think for them, it's something very, it's a positive thing for them. Remember, they are without Eden Aguero. Eden Aguero is supposed to be part of this squad, but a knock in training on Thursday kept him out of the competition.
Okay, play on.
They, of course, are looking to end this game with a flourish. Kevin Keegan. This is Brian Minor, one of the new substitutes. This is now Max Deuri. Max Deuri is a...
Going back, players, going back again!
Deuri, but unable to do anything there.
Okay, more formed! More formed!
KCB just using the physicality there.
Release!
Push Quins backwards.
Play on.
And they forced a scrum down there.
This is probably the last move of the game. KCB well within an advantageous position. You can see them just giving each other high fives. They're where they've done all that is required. This is basically just the last cherry on the cake that they'll probably want to place on. Whether or not they score is really consequential because they are the 2014 winners of the Kabeberi Rugby tournament.
It's a green ball,
and of course setting up themselves to lead the log right from the get-go in the 2014 National Sevens Series. Eza Otieno will probably want to go around and take that quickly. Whether they'll want to go around and attack or kick the ball out is they've done enough to win the tournament. Whether they want the crowd to just have a little bit more excitement, I'm not too certain. But they've done enough to win the tournament. Eza Otieno decides that he wants to have a bite of the cherry. Great level of sportsmanship shot from him. Max Theory retains the ball for Kenya. Theory gets run down, almost gets tackled at the edge, has sheer end run, passes ball back in. Kenya Harlequins not looking like they're willing to just sit and get rolled over. Godfrey Otieno there, getting muscled.
Ball is loose, Leon. Vantage.
Remember, the buzzer has sounded, and this is the last play. But this is still Michael Omondi, the man they call Zebra, trying to. He actually goes all the way to the try line. The final nail in Quins' coffin. 24-0, a try at the death.
I'd probably call that the headstone in the coffin. And perhaps the final rites already done. The flowers have been laid. Rest in peace, Kenya Harlequins. See you next weekend. Congratulations, KCB. Definitely well-deserved winners in this year's event.
Give space, please. Give space.
Conversion attempt, it doesn't matter much because KCB still win the 2014 Kabeberi Rugby tournament. 24.0, blanking a dominant display against Kenya Harlequins. Well-deserved winners in that particular matchup. I mean, you've got to admire these players. They came in last year, won the tournament. For all those doubting Thomases who thought that this was a flash in the pan, they have been disapproved because KCB have managed to show their grit, their determination, returning the same level of players. Darwin Mukidza, Jacob Oje, Ken Mosetti, Edwin Salamba, extremely dominant. Oliver Mangeni, definitely just stepping up into that role of the executor within the 7th round of the game. Absolutely dominant, absolutely deserved. Congratulations, KCB. You are the winners. Not that you didn't know that. I'm just reassuring the fellows that I'm also aware.
And as mentioned by Hilary, at the end of the day, it became a comprehensive result. But all the same, kudos to Quins, worthy competitors in the final.
To make your way to the village.
2 days of exciting rugby, the first leg of the 2014 National Sevens Series kicking off, and predictions and analysis all aside, we finally do have our winner. New champions, first of all. New, yes, for this leg, but not new if you count the results of last year. William, you're smiling. What's up?
Well, I'm smiling because I have to laugh at you, because being a Quins fan, and you just seen your team getting thumped there 24-0. Well, I just thought KCB just looked smarter and sharper. They denied Quins possession for the better part.
A bit more efficient in the physicality.
More efficient, like in the physicality, by the way. Just did the small things right, and by halftime they were already 12-0 up, which was a big ask for Harlequins to come back in the second half.
Exactly.
And the just trend continued in the second half, because most of the game was being played in the Quins half, by the way. So
that's a lot of pressure to deal with.
It was like a chokehold, man. You know, it's strangulation, just slowly, and at the final whistle, I think KCB deserved winners based on the way they played for the past 2 days.
All right. Yeah. Tito, I know you're a huge Kenya Harlequins fan, regardless of what people think. What are your expectations? I mean, what are your thoughts on the final results?
The final has gone to form. Early in the morning, we talked about how KCB had tweaked the game. They had brought in a lot of offloading, very few racks in the game, keeping the ball alive, moving it right, left, and they've done it in the final against Kenya Harlequin. At no point were Harlequins given time to rest and reset their defense line. They kept on bending the defense line, and when you look at their tries, it's off offloads and off very quick taps by Mosetti. They've been the team today. They've been the form team of the day, and they are deserved champions.
And then the structure also changed, moving the ball out wide rather than hitting up the middle.
Yes.
So that's where most of the tries came through, I think. I believe, apart from one try that came through the center.
I think about 80% of KCB's tries have come through offloads. They're really keeping the ball alive, both the big men and even the smaller men, Mosetti, Salamba. They're all offloading, keeping the ball alive, keeping the defense backpedaling, not allowing the defense to set. And that has proven to be the difference in the game.
All right, let's look at Kenya Harlequins. What could they have done best? We've talked about KCB, credit to that, kudos to them, but what could Kenya Harlequins have done best to probably secure them the victory?
Well, I guess probably maybe they wouldn't have wanted to get stuck in. Maybe for me, if I was a coach, I would have tried something maybe different. Probably try and kick the ball and try and play for territory, because it's like they were not moving from their own half, man. It's like they were just hemmed in. They couldn't just get out of their own zone. So probably
were KCB faster, or they just had a better defense?
They had a better defense,
Kenya Harlequin wingers rarely had enough room to work.
They had a better defense, of course, because they were just being hemmed in, and whatever they tried, they could go like this, and it was well being read. It was well being, I think, being read by by KCB. So probably a change of tactic. Probably try and lamp up the ball on this other side. By the way, probably would have scattered
They
KCB,
were
and with the
different.
bounce of the ball, probably they would have had a chance. Because the few times they had the ball,
Not much happened.
not much happened, by the way.
All right.
Yeah.
Tito, what could Kenya Harlequins have done best from your point of view?
I think one of the things you noticed in this final that Kenya Harlequins were heavily penalized, especially at the breakdown. I think they needed to improve on that defense and trust that their structures would work. Secondly, as William has correctly said, they tried the same tactic over and over again despite it not working, trying to move the ball to the wingers. The wingers try to go round. You're not going to go round OJ on the first phase ball. It won't happen. So they needed to have a bit of patience,
Okay.
build up, take the ball up wide, consolidate possession, bring it back through the middle. You have Keegan, who's probably the best stepper in the country.
Yeah.
But they did not use that middle channel a lot. They tried going out wide on both sides and they were easily shut down.
Shut down.
And then now they resorted to kamikaze tactics, trying everyone trying to be a hero, and it was not going to happen against a cohesive unit like KCB.
All right. And then just very, very quickly, probably in one word, what are your expectations next weekend? Do you think KCB will take it? Yes, no?
They would be the favorites.
With the favorites.
William?
Definitely.
Would be the favorites, by the way.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No minimal disruption. The only missing on Monday, probably maybe back, so they actually be stronger.
A
But
lot more impact.
this being Sevens, man, the form book now goes out of the window. It can be a totally different ball game next week.
All right.
And they could get knocked out even in the
let's
first
not
round.
forget Catholic University.
Catholic University.
Catholic University.
Perfect.
Team of the tournament.
That's my team of
Absolutely.
the tournament. They've proven me wrong, and I like it. I like how they approach the game. No respect to the big teams. Unfortunate to lose to Impala in that plate final. They just needed to keep calm for the last 1 minute, and they would have won that game.
All right.
They had it.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I trust you enjoyed the rugby. And you guys watching back home too, thank you very much for being with us this entire weekend. We shall see you again next weekend, where we go down to Dallas Sevens Kisumu for the next leg of the National Sevens Series. Until then, do have a great week.
Scrum Down, an all-new rugby magazine show that focuses on the region's rugby scene.
Back up, Red.
Player profile.
I started playing rugby back in high school.
Analysis. And a look at the legends from East Africa. Watch Scrum Down every Friday at 7:30 p.m. only on Zuku Sports.
Wild Spirits brings you closer to the most extreme alternative and adrenaline sports from around the world. Wild Spirits, Tuesdays on Zuku Sports.